Mike Tyson, once feared in the boxing ring for his fierce dominance, faced a shocking downfall when he was convicted of a crime that stunned the world. In 1992, Tyson was found guilty of raping Desiree Washington, an 18-year-old contestant in the Miss Black America pageant. The incident took place after the two met at an event and later returned to the Canterbury Hotel in Indianapolis, where Tyson's actions led to a conviction that would forever change the trajectory of his life and career. Washington's testimony provided a chilling account of the assault that took place in the hotel room, leaving the public in disbelief. During the 1992 trial, Tyson denied the allegations, insisting that the encounter was consensual. However, the jury found the evidence and Washington's testimony compelling, leading to his conviction. Tyson was sentenced to 6 years in prison for rape and served 3 years at the Indiana Youth Center before being released in 1995. The case not only affected his boxing career but also tarnished his public image, marking a turning point in his life. While serving his time, Tyson converted to Islam and adopted the name Malik Abdul Aziz. Although his life post-incarceration did not erase his significant influence in the world of boxing, it did shift his image from an undefeated champion to a deeply controversial figure. Even after his return to the ring, Tyson's legacy remains inextricably linked to the scandal, raising ongoing debates about the true nature of redemption and whether someone can fully change after such a public fall from grace. It's hard to fathom that R. Kelly, the iconic artist behind hits like I Believe I Can Fly, would ultimately be convicted of horrific crimes involving human trafficking and sexual abuse spanning years. While allegations of sexual misconduct had followed Kelly for some time, the full extent of the case was far more disturbing than anyone could have anticipated. In 2022, after years of investigation and heartbreaking testimonies from survivors, R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison for trafficking and sexually abusing countless women and minors. The case sparked global outrage as victims shared harrowing stories of how Kelly exploited his fame to manipulate and abuse them. The Me Too movement played a pivotal role in exposing Kelly's crimes, amplifying the voices of those who had been silenced for so long, and pushing for justice that had been long overdue. The case not only destroyed R. Kelly's legacy, but also reinforced the strength of the Me Too movement in combating sexual abuse within the entertainment industry. His downfall became a powerful symbol of the ongoing struggle for justice and accountability, highlighting the importance of giving a voice to survivors and holding perpetrators accountable for their actions. It's hard to imagine that Harvey Weinstein, once one of the most influential producers in Hollywood, would become the focal point of dozens of lawsuits involving rape and sexual harassment in 2017. The rise of the Me Too movement coincided with a flood of allegations from actresses and industry professionals who accused Weinstein of using his power to exploit and silence them for years. The allegations from numerous victims revealed the shocking extent of Weinstein's abuse, ranging from sexual coercion to intimidation, as he used his power to protect his secrets. In February 2020, after a high-profile trial, Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison for rape and sexual assault. The public trials, which garnered intense media coverage, served as a pivotal moment in the ongoing fight against sexual abuse within the entertainment industry. Can you picture Michelle Rodriguez, famous for her tough and fearless characters in the Fast and Furious franchise, finding herself caught up in serious legal issues in real life? It all began in 2002 when Michelle Rodriguez was arrested for assault during a dispute, though the case was swiftly dismissed. However, this incident marked the start of a series of legal troubles. In 2004, she was arrested for driving under the influence and placed on probation. Her legal issues only escalated, with another DUI arrest in 2006. The culmination of her troubles came in 2007, when Rodriguez was sentenced to 180 days in jail for violating her probation. Though Michelle Rodriguez only served 18 days of her 180-day sentence due to overcrowding in Los Angeles jails, the incident left a lasting impact on her public image. The media cast her as a rebellious celebrity, but Rodriguez was determined not to let her past define her. After her release, she focused on revitalizing her career with strong, empowering roles, demonstrating her resilience. She embraced the idea of personal growth, stating, "I am a work in progress," reflecting her commitment to overcoming challenges and continuing to evolve both personally and professionally. Have you ever thought that a football star like Michael Vick, with a prestigious career, could fall into such criminal activities? In 2007, the nation was appalled to learn that Michael Vick was the leader of a horrific dogfighting operation known as Bad News Kennels. The ring was responsible for not only orchestrating brutal dogfights, but also subjecting the dogs to unimaginable cruelty, including electrocution, hanging, and drowning. The shocking details were uncovered through a federal investigation, which ultimately led to Vick's dramatic fall from grace and the public's outrage over his involvement in such inhumane activities. In August 2007, Michael Vick pleaded guilty to running a dog-fighting ring and was sentenced to 23 months in federal prison. The case sparked widespread outrage, not only condemning Vick but also highlighting the broader issue of animal cruelty. During his time behind bars, Vick had the opportunity to reflect on his actions. Upon his release in 2009, he embarked on a path of redemption, engaging in anti-animal abuse programs and working to raise awareness about the cruelty he had once been involved in. Although Vick made a remarkable return to football and won the Comeback Player of the Year award in 2010, his past crimes remained a shadow over his achievements. Despite his on-field success, his reputation was forever intertwined with the dogfighting scandal, serving as a reminder that true redemption is a complex and ongoing journey, not easily defined by accomplishments alone. It's hard to imagine a famous artist like DMX, a rapper celebrated for his raw talent and distinctive voice, constantly going in and out of jail as though it were a routine part of life. Born Earl Simmons, DMX's career was marred by a series of legal troubles, from reckless driving and drug possession to probation violations and even impersonating a federal officer. His struggles with the law were as much a part of his story as his musical success, making his life a complex mix of brilliance and chaos. Between 2010 and 2015, DMX found himself cycling in and out of prison, often due to issues like unpaid child support and other legal troubles. Despite the setbacks, he remained focused on one goal: redemption. Each time he was released, DMX seemed more determined to channel his life experiences into his music. He once said, "I went to jail to spread the word of God," reflecting the transformative impact prison had on him. The time behind bars reshaped his outlook, infusing his music with deeper emotion. His post-prison tracks became an honest blend of pain, regret, and a fervent desire for personal growth and spiritual awakening. Despite the turbulent highs and lows of DMX's life, which ultimately ended with his passing in 2021, his legacy endures. In 1995, the shocking murder case involving O.J. Simpson captivated the nation. The former football legend and actor was charged with the brutal killings of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ron Goldman. The trial, which spanned nearly a year, became a media sensation and captured the public's attention like no other. Although Simpson was acquitted in the criminal trial, the case irreversibly affected his career and personal life, leaving a lasting impact on his legacy. In 1997, a civil jury found O.J. Simpson responsible for the deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, awarding the victims' families $33.5 million in damages. This verdict marked a dramatic fall from grace for Simpson, shattering his reputation as a sports icon. However, his legal troubles were far from over. In 2007, Simpson made headlines again when he was involved in an armed robbery in Las Vegas, attempting to retrieve his stolen sports memorabilia. This crime led to a conviction and a 33-year prison sentence, with Simpson serving a minimum of 9 years before his release in 2017. Even after his release, O.J. Simpson was unable to escape the dark shadow cast by the notorious crimes that transformed him from a celebrated sports legend into a symbol of personal and public downfall. It may be hard to imagine, but Mark Wahlberg, now a successful actor and producer, once had a troubled past marked by violence and criminal activity. Growing up in a rough Boston neighborhood, Wahlberg was drawn into a life of drugs and crime as a teenager. In 1988, at just 16 years old, he was arrested for assaulting 2 Asian men, leaving them severely injured. Wahlberg was convicted of a racially motivated attack and sentenced to 45 days in jail, a significant reduction from the original 2-year sentence. This incident marked a pivotal moment in Mark Wahlberg's life. After serving his time, he was committed to making a change and embarked on a path of seeking redemption. Wahlberg immersed himself in charitable efforts, working with programs aimed at helping at-risk youth, and offered heartfelt apologies to those he had wronged. His journey is a powerful reminder of the potential for personal transformation and the importance of learning from past mistakes. As Wahlberg once said, "No one is perfect, but we all have the ability to change and make things right." Felicity Huffman, renowned for her role in Desperate Housewives, was once admired for her grace and talent until the college admissions scandal broke in 2019. Huffman found herself at the heart of one of the most significant educational scandals in U.S. history when she confessed to paying $155,000 to fraudulently improve her daughter's SAT scores. This was part of a broader scheme led by William Rick Singer, in which affluent and well-known families resorted to cheating to secure spots for their children in prestigious universities. Huffman was sentenced to 14 days in prison, serving her time in October 2019. Though brief, the sentence had a lasting impact on her life. She publicly apologized, took full responsibility, and vowed to rebuild her image through positive actions. Huffman later focused on charity work, supporting programs for students who couldn't afford college. Despite the damage to her career, her efforts to atone demonstrated her commitment to redemption and restoring her reputation. Who could have predicted that Wesley Snipes, the action star beloved for his role as the iconic vampire hunter in Blade, would find himself behind bars for tax evasion? In 2006, Snipes was convicted of willfully failing to pay taxes for 6 consecutive years, from 1999 to 2004, totaling nearly $7 million in unpaid taxes. Despite his defense that he had been misled by his accountant and a tax protester, the court found him guilty, sentencing him to 3 years in prison in 2008. His time in prison proved to be not just a physical ordeal, but a period of deep self-reflection for Snipes. In an interview following his release in 2013, he shared that his time behind bars gave him a renewed sense of clarity about his values and life priorities. Upon his release, Snipes did not let his past define him. He made a successful return to acting, taking on notable roles in Dolomite Is My Name and the Coming to America sequel. Snipes' journey serves as a powerful reminder that despite facing significant setbacks, it's possible to recover and thrive by learning from one's mistakes. It's hard to imagine that a visionary music producer like Phil Spector, renowned for his revolutionary wall of sound technique that shaped some of the biggest hits in music history, would ultimately end up behind bars for murder. On February 3rd, 2003, actress Lana Clarkson was found dead in Spector's mansion with a gunshot wound to her mouth. Although Spector insisted it was a suicide, the evidence pointed to foul play. Witnesses reported his erratic behavior, and his obsession with firearms only added to the growing suspicion surrounding the case. The first trial in 2007 ended in a mistrial, but in 2009, Spector was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 19 years in prison. As the years passed, his life went from the heights of fame to the confines of a prison cell, where he faced health struggles and isolation. When Spector died in January 2021, he left behind a complicated legacy, one that intertwined his groundbreaking musical genius with a violent and tragic personal history, ultimately casting a shadow over the brilliance he once brought to the music world. Who could have predicted that James Brown, the legendary king of soul known for his electrifying stage presence, would be involved in a dramatic police chase in 1988? Under the influence of PCP, Brown became embroiled in a violent incident, threatening individuals at an insurance conference with a firearm. What followed was a high-speed pursuit across several states, culminating in a tense standoff where police were forced to shoot out his tires in order to bring him into custody. This shocking turn of events starkly contrasted the image of the man who had shaped the sound of an entire generation. As a consequence, Brown was sentenced to 6 years in prison for assaulting an officer and driving under the influence. Though he served just over 2 years, the incident significantly damaged the reputation of the iconic music legend. Despite his attempts to revive his career after his release, the shadow of the scandal never fully lifted. Nevertheless, James Brown's musical legacy endured, continuing to inspire through its powerful messages of resilience, hope, and redemption. His contributions to music remain an indelible part of history, forever marked by both his triumphs and struggles. It's hard to imagine that Martha Stewart, the epitome of grace and success in the home industry, would find herself behind bars for insider trading. In 2004, Stewart was charged after selling shares of M-Clone Systems just before the FDA rejected their cancer drug, sparing her nearly $46,000 in losses. This led to a sentence of 5 months in prison, 5 months of home confinement, and a $330,000 fine. Despite this setback, Stewart's resilience and reinvention helped her rebuild her empire, proving that even the most unexpected challenges can be overcome with determination. After serving her sentence, Martha Stewart didn't just bounce back. she emerged stronger than ever. Embracing her survivor image, she confidently returned to television, revitalized her business, and ventured into new projects. Her remarkable comeback showcases her resilience and unwavering determination, proving that even the most challenging setbacks can lead to new opportunities and successes. It's hard to believe that Robert Downey Jr., once a rising star in Hollywood, would spend years in the shadows due to addiction and multiple troubles. During the 1990s, Downey Jr.'s name made headlines not for his impressive acting career, but for his struggles with substance abuse, including cocaine addiction and even an arrest in 1999 for possessing an unlicensed firearm. After failing to meet drug treatment requirements, Downey Jr. was sentenced to 3 years in prison and served time at California State Prison. This period of incarceration became a pivotal moment in his life, forcing him to confront his addiction and the fallout from his career. However, his journey of recovery is nothing short of miraculous. Following his release, with the support of friends like Mel Gibson and a newfound commitment to meditation and yoga, Downey Jr. slowly rebuilt both his personal life and career, ultimately making a remarkable comeback. His portrayal of Tony Stark in Iron Man, 2008, marked a remarkable comeback, propelling him from personal struggles to one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood. Downey Jr.'s journey is a powerful testament to the transformative power of redemption, resilience, and the ability to rise from the depths of hardship to achieve unprecedented success. His story serves as an inspiration, showing that with perseverance and self-reflection, it is possible to overcome even the most challenging setbacks. Weinstein's downfall became a powerful symbol of change within Hollywood, sparking a wave of courage among other victims to share their stories. This collective outcry amplified the Me Too movement, transforming it into one of the most significant social revolutions of modern history. Jared Fogle, from fitness icon to criminal. Did you ever think that Jared Fogle, once a celebrated Subway brand ambassador with a miraculous weight loss story, would be at the center of a horrific pedophilia case? In 2015, Fogle was arrested after a federal investigation uncovered his purchase and possession of child pornography, as well as his abuse and trafficking of children across borders for depraved acts. The overwhelming evidence led to Fogle pleading guilty and being sentenced to 15 years in prison. During his time in prison, Fogle wrote a letter admitting his mistakes, describing his life in prison as a series of regrets and sufferings. However, Fogle's image was never restored, and he became living proof that abusing fame to commit wrongdoing can lead to dire consequences. Suge Knight, once a powerful force in hip-hop who helped launch careers like Tupac Shakur and Dr. Dre, faced a drastic fall from grace in 2015. After a violent altercation on the set of Straight Outta Compton, Knight drove his car into 2 men, killing Terry Carter and injuring CLE Sloan. He was charged with manslaughter and sentenced to 28 years in prison after pleading no contest to avoid a life sentence. Knight's downfall highlighted the devastating consequences of a violent, rebellious lifestyle, transforming him from a feared mogul into a tragic figure in hip-hop history. In September 2024, the entertainment world was stunned when music mogul Diddy Combs was arrested on charges of human trafficking and sexual abuse. A lengthy federal investigation uncovered that Diddy had exploited his power and fame to manipulate and abuse young women in the industry, using physical and mental coercion. Witnesses and documents revealed the extent of his control and manipulation over his victims, shaking the foundations of his once glorious career. In In 2016, a shocking video emerged of Diddy attacking his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, at a public event. The footage quickly went viral, sparking widespread outrage. Diddy publicly apologized, calling it the darkest moment of his life. The media's intense backlash led to a swift collapse of his once untouchable image, transforming him from a celebrated icon into a deeply controversial figure and marking a troubling chapter in the entertainment industry. Danny Masterson, known for his role in That 70s Show, was convicted in September 2023 for the sexual assault of 2 women between 2001 and 2003. He faces up to 30 years in prison. The case was especially notable for the involvement of the Church of Scientology, which allegedly helped cover up his crimes. Victims testified about being silenced and manipulated, with one stating, "For many years, I was afraid of losing my voice, but today I've regained it." The trial sparked outrage and highlighted ongoing issues of silence and cover-ups in Hollywood. Masterson's sentence marked a significant step in addressing the culture of silence and protecting criminals in the entertainment industry. But it also highlighted the complexity and hidden power of organizations like Scientology. Elizabeth Holmes, once celebrated as a tech visionary and likened to Steve Jobs, was sentenced to 11 years in prison for defrauding investors. Holmes founded Theranos, a healthcare startup that claimed to revolutionize blood testing with just a drop of blood. However, the technology was exposed as a fraud, failing to deliver the promised results. In 2022, after a lengthy investigation, Holmes was convicted of defrauding investors out of hundreds of millions of dollars, including high-profile figures like Henry Kissinger and former President Bill Clinton. During the investigation and trial, emails and testimonies from former Theranos employees revealed that Holmes had deliberately hidden the truth about her flawed technology to preserve her company's reputation and secure further investments. Her downfall not only tarnished her personal legacy, but also sparked important discussions about ethics and accountability in the tech industry. The impact on her family was profound, especially when she was separated from her 2 young children to serve her sentence. Despite efforts to redeem herself through interviews and a memoir, the public struggled to reconcile the image of a once promising innovator with the reality of her deception. Who could have imagined that Michael Jace, a respected actor best known for his role as a police officer in The Shield, would be sentenced for committing such a shocking crime? The murder of his wife in a moment of uncontrollable rage? In May 2014, Jace, who was admired for portraying a moral and steady character on screen, tragically let his darker side surface when he shot and killed his wife, April Jace, at their Los Angeles home. April, a loving mother and cherished athlete, was taken far too soon in a senseless act that left everyone stunned. What began as a financial dispute and divorce quickly escalated into tragedy when Michael Jace fatally shot his wife April in front of their 10-year-old son. With chilling words, "If you want to run, run to heaven," Jace pulled the trigger, leaving a horrific scene behind. The trial drew massive attention, not only due to the brutal crime, but also because it starkly contrasted with Jace's on-screen persona. Testimonies, including those from his son, painted a disturbing portrait of a man consumed by uncontrollable rage. Michael Jace was sentenced to 40 years in prison, and in a remorseful statement, he acknowledged, "There is no excuse for what I did." His tragic story goes beyond the crime itself. It serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of uncontrolled anger, which not only shattered his family but also ruined his career and left his children without both parents. It may come as a shock, but Todd Chrisley, widely recognized for his larger-than-life persona on the reality show Chrisley Knows Best, is now facing a lengthy prison sentence for financial crimes. Known for his witty, over-the-top fatherly image and luxurious lifestyle alongside his wife Julie, Todd was found guilty of masterminding an elaborate bank fraud scheme designed to conceal their true financial status. In 2022, after an extensive investigation and trial, Todd was sentenced to 12 years in prison, while Julie received a 7-year sentence for their involvement in defrauding the government and evading taxes, totaling over $30 million. The case stunned many, not just because of the staggering sum of money they defrauded, but also due to the complex methods they used to forge financial documents and manipulate bank loans. Despite Todd's persistent claims of innocence and accusations of being targeted by a larger conspiracy, the jury was swayed by a wealth of evidence, emails, bank records, and testimony from employees, proving that the Chrisleys had orchestrated an elaborate scheme to sustain their extravagant lifestyle. The reality TV show that once brought the Chrisleys fame now stands as a symbol of greed and deception behind their flashy image. The impact of their convictions extends beyond their prison sentences, leaving their children to navigate new challenges without their parents. Once icons of wealth, the family now faces the struggle to preserve their spirit. Todd's story is a stark reminder of the dangers of greed, poor choices, and the harsh reality behind the pursuit of a perfect facade in reality television. Loughlin, famous for her role in Full House, was once seen as the epitome of success and family values. However, in 2019, her reputation was shattered when she was implicated in a high-profile college admissions scandal. Loughlin and her husband paid $500,000 to secure spots for their 2 daughters at the University of Southern California by using a fabricated athletic program. The case sent shockwaves through the public, sparking widespread debate over the fairness of the college admissions process. In 2020, Loughlin was sentenced to 2 months in prison, along with a fine and community service. While her sentence was relatively short, the scandal tarnished both her career and public image. Since her release, Loughlin has focused on rebuilding her reputation through charity work and support for educational initiatives. However, her career and public standing have yet to fully recover to their previous heights. The fame, wealth, and allure of the celebrity lifestyle often lead to captivating, larger-than-life stories. Yet, as seen with the list of 22 stars who have served time behind bars, their lives are not always as glamorous as they seem. From violent actions and abuse of power to greed and fraud, these stories remind us that no one, regardless of their status, is above the law. What are your thoughts on these tales? Share your opinion in the comments below. All the information in this video comes from trusted sources and is meant for informational purposes only. Don't forget to like, share with your friends, and subscribe to stay updated on our future videos.